Hey there, folks. This is Ed Beard again with the Employer's Edge. The outcome for you for joining me in these next couple of minutes is to get better answers to your questions by asking better questions. The subject of questions are so huge, I'm going to blow this up and then break it down into its individual components in a series of videos on questioning, because you're not going to want to sit there and hang out with me for an hour today. You know, here's what's really interesting about questions. People ask us, what makes a good question? Well, it depends on the answer you get and what you want to do with that answer, what it allows you to do. You know, if the answer allows you to move someone through a problem, get them unstuck, move towards a goal, join them in their excitement so they're motivating you, perhaps your question was good because it gave you an answer that allowed you to do that. If you just don't have time for someone and you want to move along and not engage with them, and you ask someone, how are you today? They say, fine, and then you move along. That was also a good question because you got the answer you needed to do what you did. Now understand there's a consequence to that. People think you don't really care, so why am I even answering this question, right? And so understand, if you're willing to tolerate the consequence, any question will work. If you really want to work with an answer, you got to be more diligent on how you craft your questions. What is the number one thing you can do to get better answers? Really what you want is better answers. The number one thing you can do has nothing to do with your question. Has everything to do with your character and who people think you are, because that'll influence what they think you're going to do with that answer. If someone sees you as a gossiper, and your intentions are to use their answer to gossip, even a great question is going to get a terrible answer because of who you are. If you see someone that gets great answers to their questions, you or someone in the organization gets great answers to their questions because of their character. It's because people trust their intentions of asking the question, therefore they get more solid answers, usable, functional answers to questions. So the one thing you can do, people say, what can I do to ask better questions? Go improve your character. Yeah, that's the number one thing you can do. All right, so let's also pay attention to that the questions you ask reveal your level of competency. True enough. Here's what I mean by that. Competent people ask really good questions. So if you ask really good questions, you are in effect saying, I'm competent. And it doesn't matter if competency means competency in your job as a real estate agent, it could be an insurance broker, it could be a IT vendor to an organization, it could be sales, it could be marketing, whatever it happens to be, your level of questions, your quality of questions reveal your competency. So you want to ask good questions because it tells people you know what you're doing and you're good at your role. You're a good leader because you ask good leadership questions. Now, it's also important to understand, people ask us, I need to improve my questioning skill. I've been working on it and I just don't seem to get there. Here's why. Improving questions is not a skill. That's why. There's plenty of information out there on the internet on the 5 steps to asking better questions, the 3 key components to a good question. If that works for you, keep with it, man. Just go for it if it helps. Didn't work for me, never has. I'm more of a in the moment, how you actually use a good question kind of a guy. And so understand, asking good questions is not a skill. It is a frame of mind. It's a way of thinking. Remember this right here. IJWTK. What does that mean? What does that stand for? It stands for I just want to know. If you have the I just want to know frame of mind, you are never short of a question because you're curious. You just want to know. Because I want to help you, that's why I want to know. I'm interested in your life, that's why I want to know. And so don't think of improving your questioning ability as a skill, it's a frame of mind. Hop into their world. So you sense their challenges with them, you sense their excitements and their ambitions and their goals. When you hop into someone's world, what you tend to do is not align them in their detail. You go take a look at the outcome. Where do they want to go? So instead of you as a leader asking a question like, anything I can do to help you today? Which is a shut me down right now kind of a question. How about instead ask, what is the ideal outcome you're working towards? Because that's a good leadership question. And what you're saying in that question is, I want to help you. But you have to join people in their world to ask those kinds of questions. You might even ask them a question like, what are your biggest obstacles that keep getting thrown in your place that you continually have to overcome, that you want to put to bed once and for all? So, everyone has, or a lot of people have, that one problem child on their team. Instead of saying, anything I can help you, if you need a suggestion, just ask me, more of a statement, but kind of a question. Instead of doing that, say, describe to me in your words how you set expectations with the people on your team. Because what you're looking for is new ways of thinking, is new ways of doing and thinking. So the total scope of this understanding here is, understand, asking good questions is not a skill. It's a frame of mind. When you hop into people's world, you'll get better at asking questions with a goal of getting better, usable answers. That's what you're working towards as a leader. Any help you need on this, just give us a call here at the Employer's Edge. Looking forward to you joining us in this series of videos on how to get better answers to questions.